We're here today with Brad Underwood, Managing Director of Galileo Mining. Brad, welcome.
Thanks, Colin.
Brad, Galileo has been a very active explorer. What do investors have to look forward to for 2020?
There's a lot to look forward to, and as a company, we're also looking forward to this year as well. We are an active explorer. We've got drilling programs coming up, and in particular between now and June 30, we have 3 drilling programs focused on our best and most prospective area in the Fraser Range. So we have an RC drilling program that's starting in late February. Then we have an air core program that is planned for March and April. And following the RC drilling, we're looking to complete diamond testing of the additional targets in May. So there's a lot to look forward to. It's all based around drilling programs aiming to make discoveries in the very high value potential of the Fraser Range.
So Brad, what have you learnt from your exploration, and how are you going to apply these learnings to the latest exploration program?
Well, we listed in May of 2018, and before that we were a private exploration company that was 100% owned by Mark Creasy. So in the private capacity, we ran exploration programs all of the year round, aiming to make discoveries. And that hasn't changed since we've listed. What we've learned through the listing process is that we are a particularly active explorer in terms of the amount of drilling programs that we complete each year. So since we listed, we've completed 8 drilling programs. 3 of those were air core programs, 3 RC drilling programs, and 2 diamond drilling programs. So I think what we've learned is that in comparison to some of our peers, we are very much focused on target generation and drilling of those targets. So each drilling program allows us to focus in more closely to those areas that have the most potential. And after 18 months of exploration, we think we have narrowed down the best parts of our prospects in the Fraser Range, and we'll be drilling those over the next 6 months.
Tell us about the Fraser Range, and why do you think it has such great potential?
The Fraser Range is a great place to explore for us. We believe there's a huge amount of potential there, and perhaps one of the easier ways to understand it is the Canadian analogy. In Canada, there are 3 nickel belts around the Superior Craton, and that's just a geologic term for a large province. In Western Australia, it's the Yilgarn province, and we are operating on the margin of that. In Canada, those nickel belts have been explored and mined for the past 60 years. If we look at the Thompson nickel belt, there are over 10 operating mines and deposits, over 140 million tonnes of known resources. And that's after a 60-year mining history. In the Fraser Range, the first economic discovery there was in 2012. We've had another discovery, the Silverknight deposit, owned by the Creasy Group in 2015. The combined known resources of the Fraser Range, around 18 million tonnes. So that's around 12% of the known resources of the Canadian example. The difference is the time and effort that has gone into exploration. So we'd expect to see over the next decade or more that there will be a number of deposits found in the Fraser Range. So obviously this is of great interest to us because we have some very prospective ground, and we aim to make discoveries on the ground that we have, knowing that the overall contained resource in the Fraser Range belt is yet to be truly uncovered.
So Lantern is a key focus for Galileo, and you've got some new drill targets to the north. What drew you to the Lantern prospect?
When we listed, we were lucky enough to get what we think of as one of the best tenements in the Fraser Range that hasn't been explored. All the data that existed on that tenement included magnetic data and gravity data. So we're able to look at those data sets, understand where we thought the best prospective rock units were, and then we went and drill tested those. When we drill tested them, we found that we had the same host rocks as at the Nova deposit and as at the known Silverknight deposit. So it was a great encouragement for us to come across those rocks. And of even more encouragement to us was the geochem anomalous areas that we found. So we had 27 metres at around 0.2% nickel and 0.2% copper, right next to an ultramafic rock. So that contact position is a key focus for us to look for mineralisation. So the drilling that we've done, combined with the data sets that we have, suggests that there are a number of other targets yet to be drill tested to the north. So we are doing follow-up drill testing on Lantern itself, looking at the geochem anomalous area and at the EM targets within that zone. And then to the north as well, we'll look to find more rock types of the kind that have the potential to host nickel using air core programs. The RC programs start in February. We've got the air core drilling starting in March, and then the follow-up diamond drilling is scheduled to commence in May.
Brad, it's a lot to look forward to over the next 6 months. Thank you very much for your time today.
Much appreciated, Colin.